Do you think you know the story of Robin Hood? Tonight, you will see a side that no one has ever told. Deep in the thick forest, the fog blankets everything. The sound of leaves snapping underfoot makes your heart race, as if someone is watching you. Dark shadows move mysteriously, and whispers call his name. This is not just a legend, but a night when Robin Hood faces something terrifying. Something that will make your heart stop and leave you swallowing hard. Do you dare follow him into a forest full of secrets? Get ready, because what happens next will shock you. On a night cloaked in thick fog, Robin Hood moved cautiously through the dense green forest. Every rustle of leaves made him aware of the unusual silence. The damp smell of earth and trees made his senses sharpen. His eyes followed the darkness that seemed alive. He heard soft whispers, as if someone was calling his name. His heart pounded harder with every step. Branches snapped beneath his feet, branches snapped beneath his feet, echoing sharply through the stillness, startling a flock of birds into the night sky. Their wings flapped loudly before vanishing into the shadows. Robin paused, listening intently. Every rustle, every whisper, every crack of wood seemed amplified. He could feel a subtle vibration in the ground, almost as if the forest itself was alive. The fog clung to his skin, chilling him to the bone. Each breath came out in misty clouds, mixing with the earthy scent around him. He tightened his grip on his bow, feeling the smooth wood against his palm. The arrowhead glinted faintly in the dim light filtering through the fog. He moved forward, one careful step at a time, his boots sinking slightly into the damp soil. Shadows twisted and shifted among the trees. Shapes appeared at the corner of his vision, then vanished when he turned to look. It was as if the forest played tricks on him, testing his nerves. Then, he heard it again. A low, almost mournful hum carried through the air. It was neither human nor animal. The sound vibrated through his chest, making his heartbeat feel irregular. Robin stopped completely, straining to catch the source. A cold sweat ran down his neck. Every instinct screamed that he was being watched. Suddenly, a movement caught his eye. A figure stepped from the mist, tall and cloaked in tattered gray. Its face was hidden under a hood, but Robin felt the weight of its gaze. The figure did not move closer, yet Robin felt an invisible force pushing him back. A shiver ran down his spine, and he lowered his bow slightly. Something about the figure felt wrong. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up. Robin's mind raced, trying to rationalize. Perhaps a traveler lost in the woods. Perhaps a servant of the sheriff. But a deep, instinctive fear told him this was neither. The figure raised a hand slowly. Robin noticed the hand was unnaturally thin, almost skeletal. The fingers curved like claws. The hum grew louder, filling his ears, vibrating his very bones. He tried to take a step back. His boot hit something soft. He glanced down and saw a dark shape on the ground. It was a cloak, empty, as if someone had vanished into thin air. His breath caught in his throat. Every muscle tensed, ready to shoot an arrow at a shadow. The figure moved suddenly, gliding rather than walking. Robin fired an arrow instinctively. It hit nothing. The figure had disappeared, leaving only a faint echo of that mournful hum. Robin's heart pounded violently. He moved cautiously forward, following the sound. The fog seemed thicker now, almost tangible, wrapping around him. He could barely see a few feet ahead. A rustling from above drew his gaze. Branches bent unnaturally, forming shapes like twisted hands. A sudden gust of wind slammed through the trees, carrying whispers that seemed to speak his name. Robin. The voice was distant yet uncomfortably close, echoing inside his mind. He staggered slightly, gripping his bow tighter. Then, a flash of movement. Something dashed across the path in front of him, pale and swift. Robin froze. The figure reappeared, closer now, emerging from the fog. Its hood fell back slightly. And for the first time, Robin saw its eyes. They glowed faintly, white and hollow. No pupils, no emotion, only a chilling emptiness. A scream clawed at the back of his throat, but no sound came out. He tried to move, tried to retreat. But his legs felt rooted to the spot. The figure raised its head slightly, and Robin saw something impossible. A face that was both familiar and distorted. It was as if someone he knew had been twisted into a nightmare. The hum rose to a deafening pitch, vibrating through the trees, through the soil, through his very bones. Robin's instincts screamed at him to flee. He turned, sprinting blindly through the fog. Branches whipped against his face. Roots grabbed at his boots. Every step was agony, yet the figure followed silently, gliding over the ground, never losing pace. The forest seemed to change around him. Trees leaned unnaturally, branches forming shapes that looked like hands and faces. Shadows stretched impossibly long. Every sound was amplified, the snapping of twigs, the rush of air, the pounding of his heart. Robin could feel the fear clawing at his mind, whispering that escape was impossible. He stumbled into a clearing. Moonlight broke through the fog, illuminating the figure in the center. It had stopped, waiting. Robin's breath came in ragged gasps. The clearing seemed unnaturally quiet, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Suddenly, the figure raised both arms. From the fog, shapes began to emerge. Figures, pale and shadowy, rising from the ground. Their eyes glowed faintly like the first figure. They moved closer, circling him. Robin's bow trembled in his hands. The air grew cold, biting through his clothes, chilling him to the bone. He realized the hum was not just sound. It was alive, almost sentient, pressing against his mind. A sense of dread consumed him, making it hard to think. The figures moved closer, silent but inevitable. He felt something brush his shoulder, a cold, skeletal hand. He spun around, but there was nothing. Yet the pressure on his chest remained, growing heavier. Robin tried to steady himself. He tried to aim his bow, to fight, to reason. But the figures seemed immune to fear, immune to attack. They drifted like smoke, forming a circle around him. Their whispers merged into a single voice. "Return what you have taken." Robin's mind flashed back to the people he had robbed, the gold, the riches. Could it be punishment? The forest seemed to close in, wrapping him in a suffocating embrace. Every sound echoed endlessly, every shadow seemed to move independently. He tried to run, but the clearing had no exit. Every path was swallowed by fog. The figures advanced, the glowing eyes fixed on him. Robin felt a sudden, sharp pain in his chest. As if invisible fingers were pressing against his heart. He gasped, struggling for breath. The hum rose to a crescendo. His vision blurred, fading in and out of light and darkness. Then, the first figure leaned close. Its hollow eyes bore into him. And Robin felt the weight of centuries of sorrow, anger, and revenge. The forest seemed alive, pulsating with a dark, ancient energy. Robin realized this was not just a warning. It was a reckoning. The figures pressed closer. Robin could hear whispers of the lost, the wronged, the forgotten. Each voice a dagger to his mind, each gaze a burn to his soul. He staggered backward, his bow falling from his hands. The ground beneath him seemed to shift. The clearing twisted, the fog rising like waves. And then, a sudden calm fell over the clearing. The hum faded, leaving only the whisper of the wind through the trees. The figures hovered for a moment, their hollow eyes fixed on Robin. Then, one by one, they began to dissolve into the mist. Like smoke caught in a soft breeze, they vanished, leaving no trace behind. Robin sank to his knees, gasping for air. His chest still ached from the pressure, his hands trembling. The fog lifted slowly, revealing the familiar shapes of the forest. Moonlight spilled through the branches, silver and serene. The oppressive weight that had pressed on his mind was gone. He looked around the clearing, the forest now quiet and still. No glowing eyes, no shadows twisting unnaturally. Just the soft rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Robin realized he had survived something that felt beyond understanding. He felt the cold, skeletal hands, the whispers, the pressure. All were gone, but the memory lingered, etched deep into his bones. Slowly, he rose to his feet. The bow in his hands felt ordinary again. No longer a weapon against the impossible, just a tool for survival. Robin understood then that the forest had tested him. It had shown him the weight of greed, the pain of the forgotten. And in surviving, he carried a lesson heavier than any sack of gold. He took a deep breath, letting the crisp night air fill his lungs. A faint smile tugged at his lips. He knew he would return to the people, to his mission. But now, more than ever, he understood the cost of his actions. He stepped forward carefully, leaving the clearing behind. The forest was quiet, almost peaceful, and for the first time in hours. Robin felt free. The legend of Robin Hood would continue. But so would the memory of that night. A night when shadows moved, whispers spoke, and the forest itself judged him. And though he walked away alive, he carried a new reverence for the unseen forces of the world. For in the heart of the forest, Robin Hood had glimpsed the boundary between life and something far darker. He disappeared into the trees, bow in hand, footsteps soft on the earth. The fog lifted completely, revealing a sky full of stars. And in that silence, the forest seemed to whisper one final warning. The forgotten are always watching. And their judgment comes, when least expected. Robin Hood walked on, silent, alert, and changed. The night had tested him. And he had survived. But the memory of the glowing eyes, the skeletal hands, and the whispered names would never leave him. Forever a shadow of the